What is going on, my fellow floppers, and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, guys, we're going to be having a look at the top 3 class setup that you guys want to be going ahead and rocking in Modern Warfare 3 beta. Now these are the 3 most overpowered weapons in my eyes, and some very good class setups you guys want to go ahead and be using throughout this beta weekend and taking full advantage of. But with all being said, before we jump into today's video, guys, if you haven't already, and if you are new around here, make sure you do go ahead and subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications, and drop a like on today's video. That'd be very much appreciated. But with all being said, let's go ahead and jump right into this class setup. Now we are going to be having a look at the MCW, the Striker, and also the AMR9. Now these are the most strongest weapons in the game currently, and you guys definitely want to go ahead and be using these. With all being said, with the Striker, it has had a slight nerf as well, and even with the slight nerf it's had, it's still very powerful, very strong, and probably one of the best weapons in the game. So if we have a look at the MCW first of all, guys, I have done a class setup video on this before. However, I have slightly changed it a little bit, I think, from that class setup that we did. So first of all then, guys, we are going to be using the Renetti with the conversion kit on there, so it does feel a little bit like the MP7, just with a smaller amount of ammo. Now looking at this, once you put the conversion kit on, all you want to be doing is using the monolithic suppressor, which is one of the first attachments you unlock. You can add a few other ones on there, but I've not found what I think is the best class setup for it. But even just with the monolithic suppressor, it is very good, very low on recoil, so that's a very good secondary you want to be using. Tactical wise, you do want to be using Battle Rage and Semtex on your lethal on this class setup. Field equipment, munitions box, and then I use scavenger gloves, covert sneakers, and tap mask. Now your scavenger gloves obviously replenishes your ammo. Also with the covert sneakers, it eliminates your footstep sounds, which is basically just dead silence. So you definitely want to go ahead and be using dead silence on your class setups, because footsteps are very loud in this game, and you want to make sure you are sneaking around in your sneakers, no pun intended. And yeah, guys, and then lastly, obviously tap mask, just so the amount of flashbangs and concussion grenades that are getting thrown about, you definitely want to make sure you are immune to them slightly. So looking in the MCW class setup that we are rocking, so in the gunsmith, then let's head over to this. So first of all, we are going to be using this very long-winded suppressor. So it is the Kimarua Silent Shot Integral Suppressor, and what this does is, obviously you are undetectable by the radar. It does increase your sprint to fire speed, which you're going to need that with having a chunky magazine on there. It does increase your aim walking speed and your ADS speed, which is obviously what you want with slow this weapon is once you do add on that magazine. And then it does decrease your bullet velocity and range and gun kick control, but you can't really feel that once you are using this weapon with all the additional attachments that's on there. So then we are going to be using the Truick Angled Grip, if I said that right. So we are going to be using the X10 TX12 hand stock. It increases your ADS, vertical recoil control, sprint to fire speed, and gun kick control. Your cons are attack stand spread, which don't make too much difference, your hip fire spread, and your horizontal recoil control. But all in all, it makes this weapon a lot faster when you're in those close combat gunfights, especially if you're in likes of Rust. So the magazine, we are using the 60 round mag. Obviously it increases your all the way up to 60. There's an option of 40 and also the option of 20, but I do feel that the 60 is the perfect what you want for this, especially those high gun streaks when you're on. I forget to reload a lot on this game, so it's definitely something you guys want to be rocking. It's personal preference though. If you do want the 40 round mag on there, then you can do, but I would highly recommend having either the 40 or the 60, because you do run out of ammo pretty quickly. It does decrease your ADS, your reload quickness, your aim walking speed, and your movement speed. So the rear grip, guys, we are going to be using the RB Rapids Strike Grip. So this increases your sprint to fire speed and your ADS, does reduce kick control, flinch resistance, and recoil control. And then lastly, the stock, guys, we are going to be using the MCW Lancer Tactical stock. I think it is one of the better stocks, in all honesty, for simple factors. It is one of the early ones you do unlock. A lot of them do have a high amount of cons on there, and quite heavy cons on there as well, where this one's very low on the mobility and what it takes down for you. So hip fire and attack stand spread is increased, ADS, sprint to fire, gun kick control, fire aim stability, and recoil control. It does take a small hit on this, but like I said, with the weapon in general, you can't feel any difference in there. In this game, there is no tuning at the moment. I don't know if that's coming into full launch, so if you guys do know, let me know down below. But that is the MCW class setup all done and good for to go. So the next class setup then, guys, we're going to have a look at is our Striker. Now on this, I do have Battle Rage, Frag Grenade as a change, and my gloves, boots, and gear are all the exact same. Field equipment is the exact same, and same with my secondary, having the Renetti with the conversion kit on. I do use infantry vest on every single class setup as well. I do forget that the vest is there, in all honesty with you, hence why I didn't mention it on the first class setup. But let's go have a look at the striker. Now, like I said, it has had a slight knock from the recent patch and updates that we've had in the game, so they have made it a little bit weaker, but you really can't tell at all. So first of all, let's have a look at the muzzle. Now, in regards to the muzzle, no matter what weapon you got, if you don't want to be seen on the map, then you want to be running a suppressor no matter what. So we are going to be using the VT7 Spiritfire suppressor. Now, this literally just takes you off the radar. It does decrease bullet velocity and recoil control by a little bit, but not that much. You don't see no notice from this whatsoever. I would be using the monolithic suppressor once I do get that unlocked, but I don't have that unlocked just yet. I do need to get my rival 9 to level 7. So the barrel we are going to be using is the Lockman Marksman barrel. It is the first barrel you unlock. Now, there's a few other good barrels on there, but I just feel like the Lockman Marksman barrel is the strongest on there so far. Now, with that being said, it does increase your aiming, idle sway, recoil control, gun kick control, fire, aim, stability. Unfortunately, decreases your aim walking speed, sprint to fire speed, movement speed, and hip fire and stance spread. But to be honest with you, it's an SMG. It doesn't really take that much mobility off you, and it doesn't feel that much of a change. For the ammunition, guys, we are going to be using the 45 auto high grade. Now, this basically shows no enemy skulls, bullet velocity is increased, and you do get damage range added onto there. Recoil control does take a little hit. Now, the good thing about this is you've got your sneakers on, so you're going to be silent, you're not going to be found. And then also you're going producing enemy skulls, so if the enemy don't have a UAV on, you're going to be 100% hidden, which is absolutely fantastic. So the magazine then, yet again, I just feel this game you do need to have a bigger magazine no matter what. So we are using the 60 round drum on this. I would probably change it to the 48 round mag once I do get that unlocked, but at the minute I am running the 60 round drum. I do think the 48 round mag would be the perfect size mag, and you do get less cons in regards to your movement speed, reloading, ADS, and aim walking speed. So I would recommend the 40 round mag once you've got it unlocked, but at the minute you want to make sure you've got the 60 round drum, because I feel like the 30 rounds is just not enough on any of the weapons in this game. And now for the rear grip, we are going to be using the FTAC G5 EXO. Now, the other ones look alright, but I feel like this is the best one to just kind of reduce the stability of the recoil a little bit for us. So like I say, it does increase the flinch resistance, which is massive, especially when you're in those close combat gunfights. That's what you're going to be having a lot with this weapon. And then it does increase your aiming stability. Your aim walking speed does take a slight hit. But that is your striker best class setup, guys. So obviously definitely go check that out and let me know if you enjoy it. Same with any of these weapons that you do try out. So then lastly, guys, we are going to be having a look at the AMR9. Now, I am using the Crimson Fate, but I have actually customized it to what I want it to be. With secondary, I've just left it as the Renetti just for a change of scenery, but everything else is pretty much the standard on what I use. I do have a flash grenade on this, but the reason why I've got a flash grenade on this, I have been using this on Search and Destroy at the moment, so I do prefer to run a flash grenade on Search over than Battle Rage. But let's actually have a look into this weapon now. It's not fully maxed out, but even at level 20, with the attachments we have put on here, it does make it very strong. So yet again, we'll start over at the muzzle. So we're using the VT7 Spiritfire suppressor. So just, you know, you're not detected on the radar when you are shooting. The barrel, we are going to be using the AMR9 Enforcer long barrel. This increases bullet velocity and range, recoil control, gun kick control, does reduce aiming, idle sway, ADS, sprint to fire, movement speed. But with all the others, I just don't feel that they're any good, in all honesty. Like, for example, the only other suppressor one, there's two other suppressor ones on there. The other one here, it does decrease your bullet velocity and damage range by quite a bit. With the last one, it just decreases your ADS and your sprint to fire. It does increase your bullet velocity and range, but in all honesty, I've not seen much difference between this one and the first one that you do unlock. So I do prefer the first one you unlock, so you guys want to go ahead and be using that. So for the underbarrel, we are going to be using the X10 TX12 hand stopper again. So that increases your ADS speed, vertical recoil control, sprint to fire speed, gun kick control, and then it does reduce your tack stance, spread, hip fire spread, and horizontal recoil control. Ammunition, we are going to use the 9mm high grain bullets, so it increases your bullet velocity, damage range, does decrease recoil control, but this weapon has very little recoil. In fact, I think most weapons in this game do have very little recoil so far, but I reckon a lot of that will change on the full launch of the game. And then for our stock, we are going to be using the TA Venom stock. Now, this increases gun kick control, recoil control, movement speed, sprint speed, that's all increased. Your aim and idle sway is decreased, and your ADS speed is decreased. But like I said, all in all, you can't feel any difference on that, because this weapon is very strong. And to be honest with you, I would would say the AMR9 is my favourite weapon in the game as it stands, and I have been enjoying using it a lot. Now you guys let me know down below if you've been playing the beta, what your favourite weapon is so far. Let me know if you're excited for the full release, how you're enjoying everything. You are excited for the 10th of November once the game is released. But if you guys have enjoyed today's video, feel free to drop a like, subscribe if you're new. But anyway guys, as always, I'll catch you on the next video.